Hello everyone, good to have you here. It's Angela and a very warm welcome to my channel, especially if this is your very first time. Now I am taking part in RachandBella's wonderful collaboration for April, and as you can see, it's called Show Some Style Junk Journal 23. Now I would love you to follow along with all the wonderful people that are taking part. We've already had Edith, who did a fantastic project yesterday. So if you haven't gone to see E's video, go and follow along. The details are below in the description box with the playlist for everybody. And we've had Bella and yesterday, and now today is my turn. So I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So we'll get into that in a moment. But yes, go and have a look. There is a fantastic lineup here of the most wonderful people, ladies and gents. So you can go and have a look and see what you think. And it's going to be really exciting because it's all about style. And this really was a dilemma for me because, you know, I must say to Rach, you educated me, Rach. I didn't even know what style I did. I just do whatever comes to mind. So I think it's really good to know what different styles are all about, and we're going to, you know, explore that today. So having talked about all the different styles, Rach did some research for us and put together this really good bit of information. We're looking at 4 particular styles here. So the botanical style, the vintage style, shabby chic, and steampunk. Now Edith did go into this a lot more, and so did Rach, so I don't want to spend too much time, but this is available in my Facebook group, on hers, and in the various social media spots. Please go and have a look and see what you think your style is, because that's exciting too. Now for me personally, I think I delve into a couple of these boxes, not so much this one. This one has eluded me even today, but I tend to do these 3. I'm a little bit in, I take elements from all 3 of these. So botanicals, I love flowers. Vintage, I love vintage. And shabby chic, I can't help myself. So, you know, you don't have to fit into one box, as Edith said. You know, you might be multitudes, and of course it's not about knowing following a particular style. There are no rules in crafting, there are no rules in art. You evolve and develop your own style. So, you know, that's the joy of it all, and that takes a while, to be fair. So I agreed with Ease 100%, but don't try and follow somebody's style. Don't try and copy what they do. Just, you know, you're going to create your own beautiful style, and that's going to be your sort of signature. All right. So what am I going to do today? Well, I thought, okay, I do spend a lot of time in here, and so that comes naturally to me. But as I said, I delve into the other areas as well. I'm going to focus on shabby chic and vintage. Now, my intention was to put myself right out of my comfort zone, and I was going to go and attempt steampunk, and I did start off doing steampunk. But I think if you're not an avid user, or you know, not a designer who uses a lot of steampunk or sort of focuses on that area, there's certain things you need that I didn't have in my few days that I've been working on this. So I sort of then evolved into the vintage, because I thought, okay, well, we'll do these 2. Now these 2 for me and what I've done today are quite different. So I find this to be definitely, you know, something I can relate to. Very girly, light pastel colors, as Rach has said. You're looking at your muted tones there. You're looking at romantic, and sometimes not a worn look. That's the word I'm looking for. All right, so it's like vintage softness, and I do like that. I try and combine it with botanical a lot, so I tend to be there. So I'm going to show you what I've made here, then I'm going to take you through what we're going to make together in the vintage style. So let's go and have a look at that, because vintage to me are darker colors. You know, you're looking at genuine ephemera materials. You're trying to repurpose a lot of things here. You've got, you're using music paper and a lot of old book pages, but it's not flouncy and romantic like this is. So we've got opposites here. So there we go. Right, I'll get into that. I've used 2 kits here. I've used the Welsh Vintage Ephemera one. I've used also her, here's some of the pages. I've printed 2 to a page because I was doing a little project which I'm going to share with you now. So we've got some lovely ephemera here, which was great to see it on the Welsh, you know, in the Welsh theme. She's got beautiful tags. I'm not going to go through all of this. I've just got a couple of the pages here, the background pages as well. And also I used some of her show your style background pages because Rach put together a couple of kits which she very generously gave to us to work on this project. So thank you, Rach, that was lovely. And then I got special dispensation because I absolutely adore Rach's Beatrix Potter kit. And I have got that kit that I'm going to show you for the shabby chic option. Now you can change this to any style you like, and in fact you can do that with any digital. So this is the works of Beatrix Potter. I absolutely love Beatrix Potter and I love what Rachel did with it. Here, and then of course the family. So this is also part of the Welsh kit that she did. I'm not even going to attempt to say that. All right, so yeah, we've got beautiful pages. Just look at this from Beatrix Potter. She's got all the images from where she lived, and oh my gosh, this is just lovely. So if you haven't seen that, go and have a look. And I'm going to show you what I've done with this. So this is her Beatrix Potter kit, just a few of the pages from there. Okay, enough of all of that. I've got a lot to share with you, so I'm going to just put that aside in front of me. And we're going to have a look at what I've made in the shabby chic style now with the Beatrix Potter kit. So this is what I've got. Okay, so we've got a little pouch here, and I've made this from a template that I have in my shop, which looks like this. Comes like this. It's not printed on. And I'll show you how I use that. And I've done that. So in true style of shabby chic, we've got a lovely lace flower. I've used ribbon as a closure for this one. So you just undo this. With these templates, I like templates. I use them a lot for different things. All sorts of templates I use. This is a great idea for a gift or a happy mail or something for someone special. And you can, of course, use it for any style of paper that you choose. That's the beauty of templates. All right, so we've got this pouch here. And you can see the little mice on the bottom there, and on the other side I've just put on a little bit of velvet and lace and just stuck on one of Rachel's little stamps with a little bit of fabric there as well. And I've been picking up the pinks because I do love pink. All right, then inside, and I've lined this is fully lined, so you can see it's fully lined in there and it's concertinaed. I've made this little journal to go inside, and I'm going to show you how to do that. It's a simple journal, and we're going to do that in the vintage style. And I've used an envelope for the cover for this, and Rachel's papers. I've just put a little bit of tatting on there, some little scraps of fabric, which is a big thing for shabby chic. I've used wrinkled seam binding, so there's seam binding, ribbons, lace, fabric, you know, scraps on bits and pieces. So with this one, you just open it up like this, and as I say, I printed these half the size, so 2 to a page, to get the smaller size. And this is a lovely size for your handbag. I think this is perfect to you know, keep in your little pouch or in your purse or anything like that. And this is a writing journal, so there's not that much in here. There's a fair amount, but not that much ephemera in here. So beautiful pages, as I told you. I've used avocado paper, you know, I've used lace. I've sewn on some of the little images from her kit. So there you can see I've used stenciling. use the usual style that I like to do with tea stain paper. That's tea stain paper. And then just a really quick little flip through, lots of scraps of fabric. This is a pocket that's in there, and I've sewn in lots of bits and added lots of little scraps of fabric all over. That's a piece of handmade paper and lots of sewing, and I've even combined it with a couple of my background pages from my own kits because I just like the spring, and I've turned it into a spring sort of feel. So I've added pockets here, I've added tuck spots here with her tags, and again just added scrappy bits all over the place. This is just a book page I've dyed with avocado dye, and bit of lace. This is genuine vintage lace. You make a little pocket over here, so there's a lot of room to make this your own, and that's what I've done here. I've left a lot of it empty. Now you could add ephemera to this as well, and that would be lovely as a gift for somebody. I've stuck on bits onto other pages. I've used up everything that I had, and here's some more avocado paper. So that's what this is about. This is the shabby chic style in my head. All right, and I've used fabric here just to seal off the seam, and this is using a recycled mailer. So that's what I've done for that. All right, so that is our little shabby chic journal. It's quite a chunky journal, I mean quite ample, and you know, a great way to use up those scrappy bits to do all sorts. And then you just tie it closed with your closure. This is just the seam binding, and then you've got a perfect place if you're writing your daily memoirs or whatever you're doing. You just got all of this ribbon, so pretty and girly, and it can go back in there. You can tuck that behind. It is wrinkled anyway, so that's good, keeps it wrinkled. And then you just wind your closure around and close it up. All right, so that's what I'm going to see how far we get. I'm not going to show you how to put the pages together, but I'm going to show you the kind of pages I've pulled from her kit to put together, because it's a journal you're going to add and make your own, or the person you give it to. But we're going to make a pouch, which is 1, 2, 3, and it'll be done. Okay, as far as making the pouch is concerned, you really only need these pieces from that kit. It's a pouch and folio kit. I'll put the link in the description box below. It's very reasonable and on offer in my website shop, and then it's also available in my Etsy shop. So you want to cut out 2 linings. You want to cut out 2 of the top flaps, 2, because I line 1 and have 1 on the top, and 1 base. That's all it is. It comes with these little lines here, which are your crease lines, and you then just crease along those fold lines there. Okay, that's all you have to do. So for this piece, I have used this from Rachel's kit. I've already done my scoring here just to save us time. So I'll just show you quickly. You just fold along the score lines, meet that up with the top like that. It's going to naturally fold where the score line is. Oops. All right, so that's the base piece here. You can see the bit with the extensions are the front, and this is the back. Okay, so that's the front. And any piece of paper that you feel you want to do that with would be amazing, and you're going to get a different look every time. I love this. I've used it in my baking journal. I've used it in my vintage family journal project that I did about a year ago. You know, it's got a great place to store photographs in a journal, and it's not too chunky. It does the job. Now all I'm doing here is I'm folding along my fold lines, like backwards and forwards, which are these little lines here as indicated. I've already scored them, and there you're going to have the bits to put onto that side there. Now before I do that, I'm going to stick on my lining pieces. So that's the back. We'll get to the lid last, and then you want your 2 lining pieces. So I've just taken 2 of these bits, which have these sort of grid lines all from Rachel's kit. Right, so I'm going to just use my glue stick, and I'm going to just put this down. Now the reason I'm using this is because you can always sew along here if you want. I'm not going to, but I do like to have a sewn look. I did sew on, not on, I did on there, you can see, and I did sew along the edge there, but of course you don't have to do that. I'm not going to do it on this occasion, so I just need to get that up at the top there, because this is the bit that you're going to see. So there we go, got that down, and then you want to do the same with the bottom. Okay, so that's just so that when you are looking at your pouch, you don't see any white paper, but because it's 2 sheets of paper, and I'm using 60-pound weight paper, or 160 grams GSM. Okay, that gives it extra strength as well. Right, now all you want to do is, and I'm going to take a bit of glue now, let's just make sure this is open. I want to just stick down these little side pieces. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue, but use what you have, except I want to use the glue stick for this. Something that's going to really hold it in place. You just want to glue on the top bit here, the top area, and do both sides before you stick it down. Now I will say, if you were going to do 2 lots of these, I would put a second one here if that's what you want to use as a closure before you close this up. You don't have to, but it just makes it a little bit more awkward. I have done that before. Right, I'm going to do one at a time. I'll come back to this one, and I just want to catch that in there like that, and then the same on this side. So that one just went in place. That was fortunate. Right, and then just squish them down on each side, and then if needs be, just take your ink. Now I did pre-ink these just to save on time, but yeah. Okay, so we've got the base done already. How quick was that? All right, now I'm going to take the lid. Now with the lid, I'm using this for the top. I love that, from the Welsh kit, and I've used this, which I'm going to line this with. But before I line it, I just want to do my closure on here. Now with this one, I'm using this, which is, I think this is a Tim Holtz lock I've had for ages. I want to put that on there, just vintage feel. And then instead of ribbon, I'm using actual vintage fabric, which I've torn, and I'm going to use this as a closure. Now I did do a little bit of that, which is not required, but I'm leaving it on there. I'll see if I'm going to cut it off. It was just on the actual piece. And what I'm going to do here is at the top, I'm just seeing which is the right side. I think it's this side. I'm going to just fold that like that over a little bit, and then I'm going to put this on here. Now this is a new thing for me. I haven't done this before, but there's a first for everything, isn't there? Right, now we want our, I'm going to, I think perhaps put a bit of glue on this first. So let's try that. I'm going to use my art glitter glue. I'm going to just put a bit on here just to keep it where I want it. And I suppose I should just join these two together as well. Okay, let's try that. So this is just a trial and error thing. Gosh, I hope the light's going to hold. I have got this my side light on there just in case. The sun is going behind a cloud, but we'll adjust accordingly. Okay, so let's try and get this like that, I think. So it's just going to be trial and error this. Right, so we want to just get our bread in here. These are just really for show. There we go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. There we go. And then just flatten those. There we go. And then the one for the bottom as well. So I think what works is when I wiggle it, the pokey tool, and then we can put this in here. Why do I make these things complicated? Of course, you don't have to do this. You can just make a one of these coin closures with scrap card, you know. Right, I've got that there now. That's going to be my closure, and I'm going to stick it on here like that. Now, I would say that if you're going to stitch around this, I would then stick this on afterwards. Just a thought. I'd first join these two together. Well, let's just quickly join these two together. So I haven't done the one corner, but I thought I would do that afterwards. Right, so that's the back. Now, I chopped and changed the papers more than once. I did. And I'm not going to stitch this one, so I'm going to just put a little bit of my art glitter glue on the edge here, just to make sure it's not going to peel open. I'm not a big trusting person of glue stick for the longevity. Right, so we want to get this on here now. So, and it seems like it's all right. Okay, just this corner. Don't know why I cut the one and not the other, which was silly. Right, so it's all good to go. This is feeling nice and firm now. And as I said, this is this point that you want to stitch around there if you're going to stitch. I'm going to then stick that on just over there. And I'm going to do it now so that it's got lots of time to dry. Okay, so with any luck, just looking at my board here because I'm not quite sure where the center is. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. So what's that? 1, 2, 3.5. It's about 3 3/4. Okay. So let's get our fabric tack on here and press that down. Okay, let it do its thing. I got a couple of decorations to go on this one. So these are some of the bits from the Welsh ephemera kit. So I wanted to just add on some vintage looking goodies, and I had a lot of fun doing this. I was too stressed when I was doing the steampunk one. I thought, oh no, this is too much. Now let me just think about how I want to do this. Right, so I'm going to put this one over here. This is the front. Okay, that's the back. Then I'm going to add this one. Now I like this one because it said Llanelli, which is where my grandmother comes from. Now the whole maternal side of my family are Welsh, so I do know a few things and I know how to say Llanelli. Are you proud of me, Rach? Oh my gosh, what am I like? Right, so there we go. And now this little one here. So yeah, I'm half Welsh and half Scottish. Yeah, I'm proud of it. Nothing wrong with that, is there? Right, we'll put that over there. And then I got this little stamp and I wanted to put it somewhere. I can't remember where. And I think I've got these all mixed up, but there we go. We'll find a spot for this one. So yeah, always good to save old stamps. I'm going to put it over here. And there we go. We've got a little collage there for the bottom. And then for the top, I've just got another little ticket and one of these other little bits from her kit. And I printed this full size. This is half the size. So it's just because it was on one of the pages that I was doing. And I like the pink. Now, with the top, you'll see we have a couple of lines. These are fold lines here. And we need to mark those because we need to fold the top over. So I think what I'm going to do is, before I stick that down, is just score these lines. So what I do is I just take my pencil, and you can do it on the underside if you want, but I'm going to just use my pencil. You can always rub them out. with a pencil like that, and then you want to do the same on this side. Right, and then get your ruler and your bone folder and just match up those lines. So I've got that one. There we go. All right, now the way I like to do this is using this bottle here. Right, so what I do with mine is I do sort of encourage it with this bottle, and I just put the bottle there where we folded those lines, and I just roll it a little bit there. And because we've got those lines in place, you can see them, you can then just encourage it over like that and fold it a little bit along those lines. There we go. All right, so I'm going to do it a little bit higher. There we go. So that's really what it's going to look like, and that's going to go onto there at the back. Okay, so you can see it all coming together now. Right, so I am going to, this is doing its thing. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a piece of my double-sided tape. Right, you want to just get this onto the edge of your, I want to say lid. It is like a lid, isn't it? The top, and cut that off. Right, and we'll stick that on when we're ready. Now I just wanted to now find where these two go. So that's that here, and I'm going to stick it there and there. It's not that we really needed to add any more onto this really, but I just wanted to bring in a little bit of the pink. Beautiful. And then this little one just below it. And I think that's everything for our pouch. Right, let's get that. Don't want it over the linechly. Right, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to now keep that on the front, and I'm going to stick this down. So where's my little pokey tool? Where the edges are that you want to do it, because I have got this wrong before. Right, so I'm going to just flatten that a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so there's our little pouch. The pouch is all ready, it's doing its thing, it's drying nicely. So I'm going to put that aside quickly. We can always mold that fold a little later. So that's our little pouch. That wasn't too long. The only thing that needs to go on here is I've got this lovely piece of vintage lace. This is really vintage, it was gifted to me, and I love it, and I thought that would be perfect. I wanted to cover that section there. Let's put that on, and then we can move on to our little cover. Right, and then I'm going to take my really sharp scissors, and I'm going to just cut that off there. Right, we've got lots going on there, and I'm going to leave that. I think it's got enough. So we've got that drying over there, so we'll just leave that over there for the moment. Okay, so now we're going to do the second bit here really quickly. I just wanted to show you how I went about making the cover out of a recycled mailer. So I've got an envelope here that measures 9 1/4 by I think 6, just 6 1/4, 9 1/4 by 6 1/4, but any size will matter. I'm going to trim a bit off here. I've printed out Rachel's album cover, which I printed at 75% to fit my envelope for the most part. I'm going to trim off a bit here. So what I want to do first of all is get this stuck down. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to just use my glue stick because I am going to stitch around this. And it doesn't matter whether you have a window or not, we're not going to use that. I'm just using this as a base, and want to just get that onto your envelope. Envelopes are great for this sort of thing, especially the bigger ones. And you could even use the pockets, but it's a great base. If you don't have an envelope, just use, you know, scrap paper, 2 pieces. It's going to give it a nice extra feel. I quite like the feel of mailers for some reason. I have 81 videos on how to use different envelopes if you're ever interested, guys, on my playlist. 81, I looked the other day. So they're all in one called Exciting Envelopes. Right, so we've got that there. I'm going to trim off this little bit over here. You don't have to sew, you can just glue it with a bit of glue. That would work. Now, it doesn't matter that it's open. I am going to sew it. If you're not, you can just stick it. It's fine. All right, so I've cut 2 separate pieces here. I want to now fold my envelope in half. So hopefully I have got that in half. And grab your trusty bone folder, best tool ever. Use the back of a butter knife if you don't have one. There we go. So that's our cover. And then I'm just going to take these 2 pages. I'm going to put this with all the lovely script onto this side. And that there. Now you see, I haven't done this as one piece. I've done it as 2, just so that I'm not bulking up the fold line there. I'm going to stick this down as well. Now, with the other one, I stitched the cover first and I stuck these over. On this, I'm going to do them together and smooth them over, just to show you what I do there. So with this, I'm just going to stick this down again as well, really quickly, like that. Now, any envelope size, I mean, you get much bigger envelopes as well. So, you know, you can use any one of those to make a cover for a sweet little journal like this. And it's a way of using up all those packaging, recycling things and saving them from, you know, landfill and whatever. Make use of them, why not? This one I'm using the other side of that, so I like the paper on there as well. So I'm just going to get that into that corner. Now you'll see there's a gap there in the middle. Now you can either stick some fabric on here, you can do that, or you can stick washi tape on there. I think I'm going to go with the washi tape with this one, but I am going to put some glue down, and I think I'm going to use this one. So with this, I'm going to just put some, before I stitch it, I'm putting this on, just so that it's going to catch across the top there when I stitch. So yeah, if you have better quality washi tape, I don't know, washi tape is not meant to be, you know, high tack as they call it. It's normally got a low tack, which means it's removable, but this way, which is fine, and that has its purpose, doesn't it? But for this today, I'm wanting it to stay on. So we just got that. So there we've got a little cover already. Right, what I'm going to do ever so quickly and not bore you is I'm just going to go and stitch around this quickly. Okay, so welcome back. I've just stitched along there then, and you can see it comes through there, and sometimes you get these bigger holes. Just take your bone fold, if you don't know this already, and just smooth them and they will close up. All right, so that's what you do with that. Now you've got your little cover, beautiful, already and vintagey looking. What I did there now was, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I will show you, I've put my little pages together. All right, so you can see I've got quite a thick signature here. It's got, gosh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's got about 12 pages in here. Now, this is the kind of thing that you want to put in your vintage journal. Well, I do. This is my personal opinion, guys, and not gospel. Right, so I've taken one of these pages. These are mostly from Rachel's kit. So I've got that. I have double-side printed them with her background pages, and I have printed these half size, so 2 to a page. This is this page, so I've added in some of that. Lovely rings there. You can stamp in this. You can do whatever. I've got a stamp that looks like a coffee ring stain. I've added old paper bags. This one looks vintagey, so I thought that was perfect. Great tuck spot for ephemera. So add in things like that. You know, it's darker shades here. Ephemera you can add in, wallpaper can add in. Love these pages from her kit. This is just a piece of an old book page, and I've just folded it like that. So this one will stick out this way, and this one will stick out that way. You know, this is the kind of thing, and you can make this your own. Here's a music page. I folded it up this way to make pockets that way, and then because it was too long, I have folded it that way. I'm going to stick that down and make it a tuck spot there. So I've put that in there as well. And then, as I said, these are the rest of the pages from Rachel's lovely kit. So old book pages. This one's even coffee stained. You know, you've got lots of place here. Now I've done a few things, like I've stuck in a tag from her kit to make a tuck spot. I've added 1 or 2, I think, a pocket somewhere, but not much. I've added a pocket in there, and really this is good to go into my little cover, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to come back and show you. Now I'm not going to decorate this one, but it's going to go in here. You can add tabs, you can do whatever you want with this, in line with the style that you feel is your vintage. So anything, little snippets of fabrics, you know, old family photographs. This is an album, so you might want to add in your own family photographs. Now I did print out quite a few of Rachel's bits here. She had gorgeous journal cards. She had a whole lot of actual cabinet cards and all sorts of things, but you might want to add your own family ones as well, or use those. I mean, you know, it's plenty there. She's got beautiful frames that you can put around your vintage photographs as well. So that's what we're doing here. So it's just a case now of sewing that in. Let me do that quickly. I'm sure you all know how to do it. It's just through the edge here, and then you can put a piece of lace on afterwards. So let me do that quickly, and I'll be back here with you in a tick. Okay, so I have now stitched this in. All good. Perfect to start working on as a base, and add all those bits and exciting beautiful tags and ephemera pieces in here, and all my family photos. I've added a real piece of antique lace just to cover the sewing there right round. That was gifted to me, so that's beautiful, and I think that just really finishes it off. And you can see the stark difference now between the vintage style and the pretty flamboyant pastel sort of shabby chic style. All right, so this is quite masculine in a way, and this is more feminine, if anything. Now this is sealed and stuck on really firmly, so that's great. And we've got our lovely, see, I've got a bit of pink. I had to bring in my pink. So we've got our perfect little journal to go into this little folio. So that's going to fit in there beautifully. And we just want to close that up. You can add tags and all sorts of goodies in here if you want to gift this, or you don't have to, obviously. And then you want to just wind this around like that. And then probably just tuck it in here, however you want to do that. I might end up cutting a bit of this off. It's quite long. All right, so we've got that there. Now what I have got is, wrong thing, I have got a little metal bull clip with some little bits of ephemera here, and I thought I would just add that onto the side or over here you know, just to sort of add that little element there to meet up with some of the metal there. You can use metal in vintage as well as steampunk. So, you know, that's just a little bit of a key, old looking key, a little heart, and just a little one of these Tim Holtz goodies. All right, so there we've got the vintagey one. And here we've got the steampunk one. Steampunk, listen to me. The shabby chic one. Definitely not steampunk. All right, so sorry it's a bit of a long video. I hope that's given you some inspiration and some ideas for the way I see different styles. Go and have a look what you like to give a go, and put yourself out there a little bit out of your comfort zone. All right, everyone, go and take a look at the other videos, the other ladies and gentlemen coming up. Fantastic lineup. You're not going to be sorry. I'm sure you're going to learn something from everyone, and even I've learned something. So, you know, you're never too old or too young to learn something new. I say every day is a school day, even for me. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it if you stuck with me until now. Thank you, and see you all very soon. Bye-bye.